Hey everyone, this is Rhoda. How is it going? In this video, I'm going to talk about how to start meditating. And although this is geared toward people who are just beginning meditation, it's also useful for anyone who has a practice, maybe just wants to go deeper, wants to be more consistent. These are just some tips that I have for really getting that going, getting a consistent practice going. So let's get to it. So I think the first thing that's most important is to just develop that consciousness of your breath. And this is something that is just easy to start. I think that too often people who are beginning to meditate just dive right in, and I think it's too much. Like they just dive in and just start expecting that they're gonna sit in stillness and meditate for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes and it's gonna be amazing and it's gonna be enlightening. I mean, in some cases, yeah, okay, that'll happen. But in most cases, I would say starting out, it's like I feel like that having that awareness of breath is important first. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know, when you start, just start by breathing in and out the nose, placing the hands on the belly, and just paying attention to the inhale and the exhale. Just following the inhale, following the exhale, and that's it, right? Like not worrying about this looking a certain way, not worrying about any distracting thoughts or whatever it is. Just paying attention, because breath is really the foundation of a strong meditation practice. So if you can start here and just be conscious of that breath while you're sitting, while you're talking to someone else, while you're out and about, just be conscious of the breath. After you have spent some time being conscious of your breath, and this can be for a day or a few days, then you can start really to move into a meditation. The first meditation that I recommend is one that involves movement. Again, if you are just starting meditation, I really don't think that it is helpful to just sit in stillness. That is, to me, that is more of an advanced form of meditation just because it requires just so much discipline to be able to sit still and to be able to tune things out of the mind and all of that. There are many of us that can just like jump in and do it like that, but there are many of us who can. And so then meditation just becomes so frustrating in the beginning when they're like, wait, why isn't this working? Why do I have so many thoughts? Why blah, blah, blah. And then they tend to just say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this. I'm not going to meditate. This is too hard. I really recommend movement. Now, movement is great because what happens is that you are synchronizing the breath with the movement. And so it helps give your mind a place, right? It helps it to focus on something else that's not those thoughts that are running through your head. And so one of a very simple movement meditation, just raising your arms up and wide open toward the sky as you inhale through the nose and just really concentrating, really allowing yourself to feel that movement, to breathe and marry the breath and the movement together, right, as one. And then when you exhale, bringing the palms together at the heart in a prayer position. This is a very powerful mudra. And just bringing it, it's a great way to just balance both hemispheres of the brain, this mudra. So it's just gonna give you a little extra, right, in your meditation, just a little more balance, a little more foundation to really make you feel strong about your practice. So this is a meditation that I recommend doing first for beginning meditators. Also great, of course, for those of us who are experienced at meditation, who do it. Movement meditation is a great thing to incorporate into your practice. So definitely, once you have that connection with your breath, move into bringing some movement into your practice. So after a few days of the movement, then you can start to sit in stillness and work with being present to that breath. And come to it really from a place of no expectations, right? Like, don't expect that you're gonna sit there and just be like, in this really enlightened an amazing blissful state. Again, that could happen, but chances are it might not. So don't expect it, don't look for it, don't chase it. Just sit, just sit in stillness and just be conscious of your breath. Just be conscious. Follow that inhale and exhale out. Sit still and just breathe, right? Just be there. And when you do this, don't tell yourself you're gonna do this for 20 to 30 minutes. Tell yourself you're gonna do this for 3 to 5 minutes. Just give yourself that little bit of time so that it's not overwhelming and it's not something that you're gonna just wanna stop doing because it becomes too much. And then number 4, this is the last tip that I'm going to give. It's to, as you're doing this, as you just keep coming back day after day and, to do sitting meditation, don't, because I find that, when thoughts, those thoughts that come into the mind, right, while we're trying to meditate, those are natural. So when they come up, don't try to force them away, right? I find that the best way is to just be present and just accept where you're at and be present to the thought. So if a thought comes up, just almost like wrap your arms around that thought, right? Sit in the center of that thought. I like to say sit in the center, so you're looking at it fully and you're being fully present to what it is. You'll find that when you do this is that the thought will just naturally start to dissipate, and then you can just move on and just go into the next moment. The reason for this is that usually when we're having thoughts, it's not a present process. It's not like, it's kind of floating around up here, and we're just a little disconnected, right? Our bodies are a little disconnected from it. But when you put your body into it, like when you're like leaning into it, into that thought and kind of imagining that you're wrapping your arms around it and sitting in the center of it, it's like, okay, it just allows you to be fiercely present, and it just allows that thought to calm and cool and just go away. So that I highly recommend, and I find that a lot of people are always asking, how do you stop the thoughts? How do you stop the thoughts? And that's my answer is you don't stop them. You sit with them. You accept where you're at, and just know that as you keep practicing this, it's going to get a lot easier, and those thoughts will naturally stop. You'll notice you will be able to go for stretches without having them, and just simply by being where you're at and being present and accepting where you're at. Meditation can be a really deep and really exciting and enlivening journey, an inner exploration that just provides so much depth and joy and beauty and wisdom and power. It really can connect and align you to your potential, to who you really are, to that authentic self and that authentic way of being and showing up in the world. And I want to put this out there because I think this is just important. And some of you here, might hear me saying this a lot and like, okay, here she goes again. But I just wanted to end this by saying it's important to take that meditation, take that presence out into your life. It does you no good just to sit and practice on your own in a room somewhere. It's all about bringing it out into your relationships and into your work and into your creative life, into your sex life. And you will notice that every area, of everything you do is enhanced exponentially. And so I really hope that these tips helped. I hope that they made sense. If they didn't make sense, please leave me a comment below. And I always love hearing from you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Would love to have you. And again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. Happy meditating, and I'll see you next time.